Okay, everybody, here we go. We are back. So, had to take a break off, had to take a break from streaming yesterday and the day before. Had some IRL plans, but today we are back. I have been dying to get back into it. I just needed to find a time where I could also stream so we could all dig in and see what happens. Belt is still not wearing armor, so I'm going to have to protect him and be careful. We're going to try and loot this place and get the hell out of here. I can't believe I took off his armor because my plan was to send him solo, and then I thought, well, no, let's go get the fighting experience and take everybody with us, and forgot to switch his armor back and put his armor back on. It was truly terrible. Who's got room in their backpack? Why does he have iron plates exactly? There we go. We'll just trade that out. It's probably from the spiders. And they're good to have, but not better than the science loot we're trying to get. We'll double check everything that's already just out in the open. Okay, then it's time to start lockpicking this stuff. This was a absolute nightmarish, brutal fight, just trying to stay alive. We ended up having Belt lose an arm, and on top of that, even after fully repairing him, he was still bleeding out. You have to get to an actual repair bench, it seems, to when a skeleton loses a limb, maybe the people around him didn't have a high enough robotics to repair him all the way. I'm not really sure. But basically, he had to get into an actual repair bed before he would stop bleeding. So running him to Flats Lagoon almost got the whole squad killed. Running him back here after the fact almost got the whole squad killed. It's just a nightmare zone of really powerful animal enemies right here. And frankly, we shouldn't leave the base without our full team anymore. But I left them behind because we don't have the turrets set up yet. We didn't have the technology for the good ones. We don't have copper. We didn't have copper alloys. So we've got a lot of stuff to deal with before our base is actually safe and protected, but we already brought the townies down. Just a little hiccup in the planning process. Hopefully we'll get it together and it won't be so bad. No one's randomly starving to death, which is great. Oh wow, that's a lot of expensive loot. That's good. I don't know if I ever want to come back here ever again, but whatever we can't take right now, we might have to come back for. We did get some copper alloys, which is nice. We did take in a lot of valuable loot, but I don't see. We haven't made it out with a ton of science. I guess 12 ancient science books isn't bad. I don't know if it was worth the amount of almost completely wiping half the squad, losing an arm off a belt. Who knows? How much longer do we have being protected? 11 hours? Yeah, let's get this open and get the hell out of here. Does anyone even have room in their inventory to pick up these sleeping bags? That's gonna be rough. Alright, looks like it's time to get out of here, hopefully in one piece. No, everybody stay together. We're not doing this splitting up the party stuff. We're not doing that Scooby-Doo bullshit. Oh yeah, we need Griffin to pick up belt. We can't have him getting shot up again. That was awful. He probably had his arm blown off by his own teammates because he wasn't wearing his heavy armor. Oh, we're gonna let them take care of the blood spiders. Yeah, nope, we're not fighting blood spiders right now. We're going home. Those mercenaries, they're trained to handle this, right? They'll be okay. If you pick up peace, and now we might be able to actually go. Or did that slow us down worse? Sheesh. Yeah, I think that made it worse. Yeah. Oh my god, there's more blood spiders. Just keep it pushing. We are getting the hell out of there. Glad I didn't try to set up in the burning forest. I forgot that it's got more blood spiders per capita than anywhere else. It's ridiculous how many blood spiders we ran into just going into the burning forest for a little bit. And then there's are those more? No, that's a giant pack of bone dogs. Holy cow. That's what we get for living out here, though. Holy food supply, Batman. We don't have time. We're going home. We're going home. We're going to have to come back out here with a full squad. We're going to get Belt's armor back on. And then we've got to go get him a new arm. It's messed up, but we got to go get him a new arm. He can't even use his crossbow right now because of it. Why is there a random skin spider in here? What is going on? Who allowed that to happen? Alright, we're gonna save because we're changing squads. We can't have everything getting messed up. What is she operating? A cooking stove? Oh, she got stuck. That's lame. Maybe because we were trading her. Alright. Storage. Do we have copper alloy storage? We do. Belt needs to take that science in there. We need 4 AI cores. That's wild. Ore drill, semi-automatic ore drill, ore drill. Okay, so that just ate up all of those ancient science books. Let's see what everybody's doing for inventory. We've still got decent amount of crossbows on some of us. Some of us are not doing so hot on crossbow bolts. Is anyone working on those yet? No, we don't even have iron going yet. Okay. It's time to hit Katoon right quick and grab some crossbow bolts and more loot of various kinds. Did we fill up all of the electronics? We did. I feel like we can sell whatever electronics we found. This way we can make sure everybody at least has a little bit of crossbow bolts. See what we can do here selling wise. Okay, he's got plenty of bolts. And repair kits, which is always good. We'll go ahead and buy those, sell more. Okay, we can't sell him anything else, so we'll step over here. Buy all of his copper alloy. We can honestly buy a bunch of iron plates too. Because the iron plates, we can just take those raw and start crafting our own crossbow bolts till we can get the actual mining set up. But that's about it for that one. Who else can we sell to? The weapons seller. Why won't it let me sell to him? There we go. We're not really worried about buying anything from him. We've honestly made out like bandits when it comes to money. So much money coming in. Alright, we'll take the rest and head back. Once we can get a proper defense set up, I'll be comfortable with heading to get Belt's new arm, but right now it's just not the top priority. I don't want to be too far from the base and leave it just undefended. Oh boy. We'll take the meat though, that never hurts nothing. There we go. I really just want to get back up to our base and see if we can get some mining set up. Because we need to be able to do our own stuff. We're not going to have our own copper alloys, which kind of sucks. I didn't realize the harpoons were going to require those. I kind of put a monkey wrench into everything. I may have to set up a second little safe space around the copper. Because I know there's some copper around here somewhere. Let's see, mining, ore mine. Yeah, we'll go for the just near the 90s. 97's just fine. Who's attacking our base? Oh, snap. Yeah, we'll just peel everybody. Can we peel animals? That would be sick. We cannot. That makes sense though. Put that down. Throw this random corpse out here. It might have been cool if we were doing leather armor being out here. I just don't ever see myself doing leather armor. I don't know why I would ever not just do good, high quality, heavy armor. And I know this is kind of gruesome to do to any old person that just drops by to attack us, but I'm kind of over it. I'm over them attacking us. I really just can't be bothered to deal with their BS. Oh, we got one of these built. Okay. So, Beep, you are our official guy. Hugh, we'll take you off passive and hold. Now we've at least got someone on one of these things. That'll help. Double barrel harpoon turret with a light. Confirm. Does this one have the light? It does not. So we'll upgrade that. Now we need a storage for ore. And we need an iron refinery. Is 3 as good as we got? That kind of stinks. And we'll put a fabric chest together. Yeah, throw a couple of those down. We should have tons of iron plates, I believe. Yeah, we're doing great on iron plates. No issue there. Moo, you good, bro? Did you get stuck on the wrong side of the door? And these things do produce skins that we could put into leather also. What are these missing? More copper alloy plates, of course. But that's okay. We don't want to necessarily set up to do those because we're not going to be working on them for very long. Once we have enough turrets, we're not going to bother. Let's get Ribs working on the crossbow bench. Regulars, go. We need a light. put Namtram on this one. Sand, how many workers does this take? Oh, just a hauler. Perfect. And then we've already got storage for iron plates, but we don't necessarily need it to be... I don't know. We've got iron plate production up and running. That's very good. That was the main thing I was worried about. I do believe we've got food production coming. We've already made a decent amount of food ourselves. We brought a ton with us. We've got meat to cook anytime we need to. We have a ton of green fruit ready to cook anytime we need to. The wells are basically just staying full. So far, it's looking good. Let's go check out the bolt box, though. Anybody who's got excessive, 5, we'll say 6 sets is what we want you to keep. You know, a little over 6. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There we go. And this is going to let us make sure everybody's going out into the field armed up correctly. We don't want anybody out there naked and afraid, not having enough bolts to do what they need to do. I mean, we're already short as it is. Ribs, are you having any trouble here? No, you're producing just fine. I think we'll have Cat do turrets. Does he get a penalty to turrets? He does not. Okay. What does it take to set up a turret training dummy? Iron plates and electricals. Yeah, we can do that. Guys, settle down. What in the pink fuck? Okay, I'm gonna turn like half of y'all's jobs off. I really don't understand what's happening. There we go. That was getting a little ridiculous. And we are going to go full shoot first, ask later. Get a light post installed. And then all we need is an arm for belt. Is anyone absolutely out of crossbow bolts? Doesn't look like anybody's really out, but we're definitely low. Okay, he's already got some food. I just want to make sure that when we leave, we've at least got that one turret guy up, which isn't great, but I'd like to get all three of the turret guys up there going before we head out, just so there's some semblance of protection. Because until we can get armor going for the rest of the town people, it's very dangerous to have anyone try and come and attack us. But we have so much money that we'll be able to buy the arms we need and whatever other limbs we end up wishing we had. We're just going to try and get enough copper alloys to get our base properly up and running, having at least the 3 turrets going. We aren't going to need any more laborers. You know, we've got someone crafting crossbow bolts. We've got someone working on food and someone handling the iron and iron plates. We really just don't need anyone doing anything else except more turrets. So that'll leave 1, 2, 3, 4 plus Hugh 5 turret guards. That's not too bad. I guess we could have bought crossbow bolts, but I'm not as worried about that. I think we're going to change how many people have engineering as a job, too. Who's got the highest engineering? So 28, 25. Is it basically in the order we hired people? No, Moo is extremely good, so you get to keep it. Moo, Audie. We'll just have Moo and Audie and Belt keep it. So everybody else is going to drop engineer. this will just let us not have them tripping over each other, knocking each other outside the gate, trying to repair things, trying to engineer things. Did both of these get built? Fantastic. Beanhop, you should have turret training. Spike does not. Fuman does not. Cat does. Did Sand? Sand already had turret training. So who's got the next highest laboring? Beanhop, you can swap with Sand. And honestly, nah. We'll just do it this way. Oh, someone needs to haul to the iron plates, though. Ooh, I don't like that. So when this gets full, he takes it over there. Nah, we'll have Beanhop do this part. Namtran can just be on the ore drill. Sand, you can come and do a turret. Take you off passive. So we're gonna need more steel bars and more copper alloy, it looks like. There's a lot that goes into how you want your base defended. I'm hoping that just a few really good turrets will work for most of the things we'll fight out here. There's only really one way to find out, though. We just have to get put to the test. So it looks like we had enough steel bars, so it'll probably just be copper alloy plates that we're short on. And then the watchtower, I can probably put some people up on guns there too. Defense. It doesn't say how many it has. Okay, yeah, the more towards the front, the better. 3, 4, 5. And those can just help also protect the gate. If we ever need to, we can have everyone run to those. We haven't been invaded, like truly invaded, in a long time. Hattie, how are you up there? How does that work? I guess they're already putting in pieces for those. That's kind of counterproductive. I didn't think that would happen. 2, 3, 4, 5. Polly, go ahead and come in here. Oh yeah, we're doing great on making these. That's good, that's good. Alright, there we go. We're gonna need a lot more building materials too. But again, I don't plan on expanding the base enough to worry about that. We've got what we need. She's producing tons of food, which is just fantastic. These are just short copper alloy. How many steel bars did we have? Dang. We are out now, though. Yeah, we'll need steel bars for sure. And some copper alloy plates. So let's turn everybody's jobs off. And we'll head into Katoon again. I really just want to get these turrets set up, and then we're heading out. Then we are just hunting science for the foreseeable future. We'll obviously want to grab belt and arm before we go anywhere crazy, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world. It's one guy that can't use his crossbow for a little bit. I'm worried that the base is going to get just snatched up while we're gone. I really am. I'd ideally like us to be nearby when the first real raid gets announced again. Like if slave traders show up again, I'd really want us to be nearby. We'll take all your building materials. I've got to divvy out those sleeping bags soon. Does anyone else have stuff to sell? We are way too high on electronics. And we still got all this expensive stuff too. Alright, we managed to clear out the really expensive stuff, it looks like. That's good. Up to 218,000 cats is always nice. And while this is a little bit of manual labor after the fact, I'm just trying to get the base to a certain point, and I really don't see any benefit to setting up being able to mine everything, including stone and building materials, when there's a city so close by. I really do want to get more sleeping bags though. I do think everyone should have one. So we'll have to make sure we look at basically working towards that every time we head out. Materials trader is good. We can take that. We don't have any problem with that at all. They are not prioritizing these damn turrets that we have almost built. I'm not going to take them apart now, though. We're so close. We have one more person helping out for now, and we'll take it off of Griffin later. I hadn't realized we had hired 2 people that were so good at engineering. Overall, though, the base has come along pretty nicely. We're doing such a tiny base with just hoping that our advanced science for our defense setup works out for us. We've got a few guys that have a decent turret stat at least. Looks like we got the building finished. Just need copper alloy plates. I wonder. I don't think Flats Lagoon's gonna have any, but we might get some from Morn. That's just such a trek. It's such a long, dangerous trek. But until we get to the point where I honestly think the base can handle itself, I don't want to be far away. I really don't. It's really important that our crafters and workers don't get just grabbed up while we're gone. But I do want to always have people at the base. Just that way we don't ever have to sit at the base and just wait for things to build up. That's the trade-off. When I play and I have all 30 people come with me when we go somewhere, that's absolutely the trade-off you're stuck with. These guys don't have squat because we've already came and traded with them. Let's hit Morn and see what they've got. Oh, I about didn't catch that we were in combat. How many of these things are there? It does seem like we're staying very proficient at taking these things out. And there's a bunch of beak thing eggs. We totally want that. Just being able to concentrate so many attacks on one beak thing without having to all be piled on them and take turns attacking makes them so much easier to deal with. I'm not even sure we need to be worrying about taking the skins or even the meat, really. It just seems a little unnecessary. It got so much food. But these beak thing eggs will land us a ton of money, which is nice. Okay. That'll give us a lot of cash to work with at least. They're worth picking up. This is gonna make us pretty slow though. Unfortunately, that's the other trade-off is we pick up all this loot and now we're just sluggish. Morn's not really known for having all the best stuff, that's for sure, but they may have some copper alloys laying around that we can grab. They have one. That's not quite what we're looking for, fellas. Come on now. You know what we're here for. We're here to get, well, let's see if we can just use him as a practice dummy. Is he gonna stay up there? Belt, you knock it off. You're on hold passive. You guys in the front, back up. Yep, he's gonna slap some people around, but nothing we can't handle. I was gonna try and just use him as a shooting dummy here, but with this many people, it was just gonna be a pain in the butt. And then Griffin, go ahead and pick him up. Everyone's off hold. Okay, cool. So now we have our very own shooting training dummy if I can figure out the right way to do it. There should be sleeping bags we can buy here, which is great. I'm gonna have to organize the inventory better though. We're gonna sell this meat. I have no intention of picking up the meat anymore. We have so much food. I don't like having to kill the animals. Maybe we shouldn't have had food production in the first place, is where we really messed up. Is that we just didn't need food production, but it's kind of where we are. I don't remember Flats Lagoon having anything worth a dang. Now we just want to make it back to Katoon before their shops close. They should be restocking here in the next hour. We'll grab some more stuff and head home. I really do think, though, we didn't need to set up food. So that's something to keep in mind for if I was going to do this again. We would just not do food. We would just pick up some meat while we were out. That does affect our ability to pick up loot when we actually go to our tech hunting sites, though. So it kind of makes sense for this run. But if I wanted to make like a high Bonefields Hunters group, that base is pretty much fantastic if I can just abandon it. And if someone tries to take it from us, we never put turrets in, so they can't use them on us when we come to take our base back. As I run right into a bunch of people. Guys. Ugh, regroup. Griffin, you stand in the back so you're not hit. Let's slow this down a little bit. Spread out a little bit. Goodness. I've got to make sure I stop just running face first into beak thing nests too. Now I'm not sure we're going to make it to Katoon in time, which is kind of a bummer. Who is that? Moo, you can go on your own speed and run ahead. You might be able to hit the shops in time. Because if we can get a trade going, we can kind of just hold at least the one shop open. I don't think we're gonna make it to the other one fast enough, but we'll try. Nope, sure didn't. Ay ay ay, that's okay though. Once they open in the morning, we'll be able to finish buying everything, and we can head back to base. Okay, hopefully all the shops have refilled. Or if they haven't, they're at least open now for the other one. Yeah, nope, still not much. Although it's slowing us down a little bit, I'm not too unhappy with the progress at least. We should buy some building materials while we're at it. And we'll head home. Oh, they're here already. Fumin, let's go have a talk with them. What do you got? No copper alloys. We'll buy some iron plates and call it a day. Oh, we didn't even need the iron plates. Goodness. That's okay. I'd like to move the iron plate storage anyway. Looks like we found friends. Oh, they gave up. That's good. That is for the best. We don't need any giant packs of wolves coming home with us. And then Fumin. I'm gonna take him off of engineering. Is everyone home? Yeah, everybody's home. Okay. And then we're gonna move our electrical storage up here. This way we can actually see our electrical storage, and I can look at putting a building over here if I want to. All of this crap sitting out in the open isn't helping anything. What? Oh, I've gotta, hold on. I've gotta actually put my turders nearby each other so it makes sense. We'll put Hugh in base defense, Sand, and Cat. There we go. One, two. Okay. Spike we can move. Fumin. We can also move. And I think I'd rather have them down here, but it'll work for now. And then all of these guys have real jobs. Alright, we've got enough turrets up that I'm ready to move out a little bit. Let's go get an arm for our fearless leader. Oh no, I've got to do something with this Monkey. Let's do a building. Probably another big ass station house, right? If we're gonna have a big building, or a building, we may as well have a big one. Right? Wrong. We don't have the building materials. Oh well. that can be a work in progress. Let's put in a prisoner cage up here. We should have plenty of room for that. Ribs, how is your job coming along? Great. We're making tons of bolts. Griffin, go put that guy in there. It can starve to death if I'm not careful, so I'll have to be attentive to that. Turn everyone's jobs off and we'll bring some food. Oh, he doesn't need to be carrying all of those bolts though. Is anyone else carrying a bunch? Not really. Where's the general storage? No, the beak things take up too much room. Did anyone else buy a bunch of backpacks? I could have sworn that somebody had a bunch. There it is. So we won't have one for everyone, but we'll have one for a lot of them. And then everyone's job's off, so now we just need food. It is a good thing we got onto food production, because while we have plenty of uncooked meat, we're not sitting on a ton of actual cooked and ready food. So we'll see if Desert City has what we need. We know they'll have the arm we need at least. Maybe we'll hit Flats Lagoon on the way back and just see what they've got. I don't want to go through the burning forest, I think. Yeah, let's go towards Flats Lagoon and not go into the burning forest and die. There's just so many blood spiders, and they're such a bigger problem for us than something like beak things. Like, these are just not a problem. Even the elder just isn't going to be an issue. Well, I said that. That fucking hurts. Griffin, go pick that thing up. And then Oron, pick up Cat. I guess we'll head back home right quick. The elder beak thing still slaps the living daylights out of people. Heavy armor or not, that was rough. Cat Cat got absolutely demolished. If Cat had taken another hit directly to the chest, that literally could have killed them. That's insane to me. And Moo got their arm trashed. What a wild few seconds outside the base. Guys, stay here. Who doesn't have a med kit? Alright, we gotta check everyone for med kits too. That's outrageous. I know it might seem strange to worry about. He's gonna starve to death. Maybe if we are able to pin them in, we won't have that problem. Interior. Need another prisoner cage. Excuse me. We'll put that over here. What was it? Addie Moo? Or somebody else had really high engineering. Oh, but if they're holding something, they can't be on a turret. Interesting. So keeping these things as test dummies is going to be harder than I thought. Maybe it's got to be beds? Let's try laying out 2 camp beds. See how that goes. Griffin, pick him up, put him in bed. Yeah, that seems to have done it. Well, no, here. Put that one upstairs. Pick him up. Dismantle that. I'm trying to figure out a way basically to maintain control of these super strong animals in the event I can figure out how to turn them into crossbow training, because I do believe I can do that. So we put them on hold. Deselect belt. We'll have to make him aggressive. So one of the things you can do with this guy is throw him in a sleeping bag, save and load, and that is, because it's a bug, you know, I don't know if you can really count that as training, but I think if I pick him up, put him in bed, can, oh, I need to wait for him to become aggressive. Hold on. That's right. This probably won't work. So we'll put him down. And then all we really want to do is block off this stairway completely. Just make it so no one's actually going to come up here. And that should cut it. What? How did it get in there? Everybody out. What the heck just happened? Why in the heck did it spawn in there? I guess he's not really aggressive anymore, which is nice, but what the hell just happened? Ay, ay, ay. I was just trying to figure out a way to use them for shooting practice. Either way, that ship has sailed for now. We'll move on. We'll come back with building materials and copper alloys. That's the plan. And everybody's still got their food pretty much. There's a few of them that probably dropped off their food, but that's not the end of the world. Coming up on a beak thing. We are at least going to finish off any beak things we encounter. I don't plan on just leaving them alive down here to get tougher and tougher. So now the trick's going to be, how do we get that stupid gorilla to be a sponge for our bolts so we can train on it? I think the trick is going to be doing it outside, but I'm not sure. Ideally, I just want to surround him with some boxes or something. But I think the beak thing will be better for that anyway. It would be cool if there was some kind of safe way to let the beak things live outside our gate. Maybe I go spend 6 million cats or whatever and buy Savant out of slavery over and over. Get friendly with the beak thing faction. That's cool, but it's kind of weird and buggy. It doesn't make a ton of sense. When we can actually recruit the guy, it makes sense being able to have him put us on good terms with all the beak things. This should be interesting because these guys do martial arts and they hit hard. So it's going to be a little bit of AoE. We want to spread out a little bit. It does look like, for the most part, anytime we take people out, it's a blood loss KO. Very rarely is it them just taking so much damage, unless it's like a one on us, you know, it's just one dude coming after us, then he gets lit up. I wonder what's the fastest way to get there, because I definitely don't want to run through the water. That's just going to be so slow. We'll run around here to where there's a land bridge somewhere. Yeah, I don't know if we want to go all the way around. Let's just try and cut across at least a somewhat short portion of water. Belt's just on the riverbed floor walking by. I bet you we could give him a serviceable arm here. I just don't know if I would care to waste money on almost good enough stuff. We'll make sure there isn't a masterwork though. What do these things do for crossbows? I know it's a negative. How bad is it? Crossbows, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Well, that just shows you how little of a difference it makes, honestly. Show me what you got. Ugh, straight garbage. We are not wasting time on that. We'll buy the science, though. Does anybody not have a med kit for real? You don't? Oh, wow, there's actually a few people that don't. Were we just getting whooped that badly? I guess it just really was that hectic. Alright, time to head on out to Black Desert City. We're gonna go through Shim, not Robotville, though. Well, and we're not worried about Venge so much, so why not? We'll just take the direct route. The sky lasers aren't that big of a deal, and they may even be gone by the time we get there. If we see any good limbs that we might want in the future, we'll probably just buy them. Depending on what all we can truly afford. We haven't had a ton of base events ever since the Slavers thing triggered. It's been a while since anybody messed with us. It's been nice. I mean, of course, we've got the occasional group of douchebags, but the next coolest thing will be just going to different areas where we've got maps, checking out the libraries there, And just continuing on, I think I'm gonna drop the stealth backpacks that we have, the thieves backpacks, for more traders backpacks, because all of the stuff we want to loot, it's not gonna be the large weapons. And if we really want a Mei-2 weapon from somebody we defeated and it's too large for a regular trader's backpack, we can have somebody put their crossbow away if we're that desperate. But since we're really just about technology, we're not necessarily trying to collect every Mei-2 item out there. We may as well. We may as well just have the trader's backpacks be able to carry large quantities of stuff, including crossbow bolts and food, so we can just stay out and about and do our thing. It's nice not having to worry about these lasers. That's why I love the crab armor. And, just being a skeleton works for belt. But the crab armor protecting us completely from it made this a tempting place to set up, honestly. I think I was missing water or something like that. I wasn't finding everything I needed. I didn't like the area. And I didn't like the idea of having to put all of our workers into armor. And I 1000% didn't like the idea of, okay, but what are we going to get attacked by? Is it just going to be endless streams of robots keeping them in combat to where they're never going to eat, you know? Speaking of never eating, oh, go eat, you dork. Every now and then you just got to put them on passive so they'll go eat. We are not going to swim through the acid today. That's not on the game plan. Although we haven't hit that ruin yet. How do we actually get in? Is it over there? Is it defended? Doesn't even look defended. No, there's some people. Let's see what we can do. Let's send a few people up there. A few over there. A few up there. Not into the acid. That's not the play. Nobody said do that. You would think Belt would have more trouble with this, only having one arm, but he seems to have it under control. Well, we found some more copper alloys just laying about. That's always good. Ancient science books, nice. Well, one ancient science book. There's two. Ancient science books are one of the main things we're looking for. I mean, AI cores would be better, sure, but these will do. And engineering research. Very nice. Very nice. This was worth the pit stop for sure. I guess we're just going through the acid water. I don't know why we're doing this, but I guess we are. Can't get these guys to do anything. We'll hit the robotics shop and then we'll go see if there's anything over in the science shop that's looking fancy. Belt needs a left arm. Probably a skeleton arm or a steady arm would be the best. Where are your masterwork arms, sir? Kale R wouldn't be terrible. Masterwork skeleton arm left, okay. They don't have a thieves arm. Masterwork? Come on now. Just the industrial lifter? Okay. Well, we'll take a left skeleton arm. That'll put him back in business, and it's also going to crank his dexterity. He's worse at lockpicking by quite a bit, though. There you are. Now we should be able to sell more stuff. Little bit. Little bit. Now, I'm not crazy. He didn't have copper alloys or anything, right? No. We'll try the barman. Nope. They do have grog, which I wonder if that could be like a trade route, since they have grog. See what it's priced at, but we're not really concerned about doing all that. We're trying to find all the cool sources of tech and collect them for ourselves. What do you guys have? They have AI cores? I thought we had came by and bought them out. Hell yeah. So we'll start with selling you a bunch of stuff. Then Griffin, grab all their science. Dang, that nearly broke us. But we're leaving out of here with such good stuff. What about limbs? There's a stealth leg, and that's it. Um, did you have any more masterwork bows? Old World 2, we need masterwork. I don't think they can anymore, right? Oh, there's one. Belt is not wearing a masterwork. That's it though, just the one. Damn. There are a lot more Mark IIs if I wanted it, but we don't need it for our people staying home. Hopefully, hopefully. Now we'll head to Katoon and grab some building materials and copper alloy and head home. There are a couple more ruins out here we can investigate, but right now I just wanted to get his arm, and then I want to really focus on getting those turrets going. I'm not nearly as concerned about rushing into the tech hunting part. We're still only at day 75, and we could pretty much take on most things. Getting caught out in the little tiny confined space with the robot spiders wasn't great. And if I had just fought that correctly and lured them out, it would have been a total joke. So we'll learn from that and make sure that whenever we go to raid places for science, we're mostly hanging back in a group. At least this isn't trying to take us back through the burning forest. That would be a total nightmare. Why is everybody spreading out so much, guys? Chill. We don't need to be all loosey goosey. Everybody goes their own way. As we get closer to just being out all the time, I'm thinking I might get some armor put together. We've got a good source of raw iron, so I can make iron, like armor plate, if I stop making iron plates for a while. And then we could craft up some armor for our guys that are staying home. We also could put together steel and start working on our chain sheets. We've got room to do that if we want to. Once we have enough bolts built up, maybe that will be the play. Start our chain armor grind, because that's all we're really missing for most of our people, is to throw on an actual chain armor for the shirt. Protect their vitals even more. Stop and wipe out these beak things right quick. And we're not even gonna worry about taking the meat home. It's just not worth it. There's nothing here, is there? No. Just used to be something. That's all it is now. So many frickin' beak thing nests. We don't want to get overwhelmed too badly by these, but taking these hits to everyone is actually not a bad thing. Everyone's getting some toughness out of this. You know, if you look at them, they're all sitting at 20s and 30s or higher. Bard, are you out of bullets or just he's too injured? Okay. Griffin, go ahead and get these guys stripped. It does seem like a waste. It would be cool if we were doing a different style playthrough where going and hunting beasts was like the goal. But for now, this is more like pest control. We're just trying not to have a nest right here on our path near home. It would be a lot of money to grab it up and sell it too, but it's just a whole nother ordeal that we're not really trying to do. All I really want to be doing is hunting down technology. As soon as our base feels secure, that's the goal. We want to get the tree filled out. We want to capture leaders and ask them questions. We want to do basically everything we can to find out as much lore as we can. And it's going to be funny seeing all the different factions trying to come and mess with us whenever we've messed with them. Oh yeah, we weren't trying to go home yet. We need to hit Katoon, guys. What are we doing? It's totally their fault, not mine, right? Guys, you have to eat. Ran into more beak things. I'm super surprised. It really would be a ton of money to collect all this and sell it. I think if we were having any trouble with money and we weren't about to be just done needing money, we probably would. But we're so decoupled from the economy now that we produce our own food and weapons and everyone's armed already. We're not really reliant on having cats anymore. We're just buying maybe a handful of these copper alloys and that's it. I am gonna buy copper though, straight up, just so that if I make a copper alloy bench, I can have some of those produced. Just as a secondary way to keep filling out on them. Now we can head back home. We don't necessarily want to mess with a bunch of wolves if we don't have to. And they came back for us anyway. Leave us alone, guys. You don't want this. You're not ready. I'm also not totally against hiring some more mercenaries. They wouldn't be bad just to make sure the base stays safe. Riv's already given us so many crossbow bolts. What all's being built up here? Griffin, how'd you get stuck? What are we short? Just... Oh no, we do need some steel bars. Interesting. Okay, steel bars and building materials are still something we need. We'll make a copper storage. And then in here with ribs. Copper alloy bench. And then it's, well, we'll see what it takes to actually make these. Our beak thing is still just hanging out. It's good to know putting them in a bed keeps them from starving and just letting them free. We'll try that, see if that gives us enough room. That's just going to take iron plates. But I think that'll let us still walk in and out, but not the beak thing. So we'll be able to patch him up after shooting at him. Nobody said this wasn't cruel, but it's for science, right? That gorilla just seems to be content to not attack us, which is great. Where are all the iron plates? Like, get to work, guys. Who's got... Okay. Why aren't you dropping off the copper alloys? Did I completely get rid of the storage for it? That's a bummer. Storage, copper alloys. And they just don't want to build these because they're in a weird spot, I guess? Oh boy. Ooh, what are we shooting at? Wow, that guy got absolutely ruined. Let's take somebody with a big open inventory like Moo, turn jobs off, grab some iron plates, come finish this stuff up. How did they get? Wow, they busted through the gate? It was sitting open. How and when did that happen? What in the holy hell? These guys need to be on passive and run away. These guys need to keep shooting. And these guys need to be attacking. I'm gonna make sure the gate's closed. Like, what was that about? I don't like that I have to do this manually, but it's the only way to get this to stop. Otherwise, they'll just keep getting up and being a problem. There weren't even that many of them. I didn't realize the gate had been left open. That was kind of tragic. Okay, Slick, come over here. What are you doing? Okay, go get food, you hungry person. Can you get in there? No. Okay. So dismantle that. Turn your job off. Can you get in there now? Okay. Armor plate storage. We're gonna leave just a little more space. Okay, and then we can get in, but only just barely. Some of the pathing here is crazy. And then get out of there. Perfect. And none of the gate guys can really see him, so they're not shooting at him. The copper alloy plates got used. This one's almost built, and we need steel bars and building materials still. Alright, another trip out to Katoon. We're close to being wrapped up with the base, having it set up. In the long run, it probably would have been better to just build this stuff ourselves, but here we are. Now for that copper alloy bench, I'm gonna bet that it wouldn't be so hard. Not the arrow making, this. What does it take? Copper and iron? Yeah. Let's start with the copper alloy bench. And then we can have her be set to engineer first and foremost. That way someone repairs the door if it gets busted up too. Looks like trouble at the gate. Not our problem. A random beak thing. Oh no, yeah, we're gonna have to take both of them off turrets, sadly. At least off of these two turrets. They were shooting our friendly beak thing. Have them go eat. Take them off. Passive. Good to go. Did we really end up short enough building materials that we couldn't build this stupid thing? That's crazy. I don't know where I could get any extra building materials from. Griffin, you got bolts, so what's going on? Okay, so we got our new building still waiting to be built. We're out of building materials. We've finished building all of the turrets, which is sick. Put everyone on hold. Oh yeah, we can totally crossbow train this way. That is amazing. So we'll be able to get our skills way up on this. Just here and there when we're waiting at home for things to get finished. Which really we're not going to do much, but when we're here, it's nice to have it. I really wish I had just a few more building materials. Yeah, light that beak thing up. We sure could use one more set of really good armor just to give to her. There's got to be a way to keep these guys fed, man. It's awful. Maybe the idea is to not have anyone that's on permanent turret duty. Ideally, we would have, maybe we trade out belt for somebody else, and we get armor for our turret guards. Maybe that's the play. We get some regular armor going for our turret guards, and we're able to protect this place a little better. If all the turret guards actually had armor, then we wouldn't be as worried about them shooting each other, which is great. But we also want to look at figuring out how to get more skeletons. I know we can get 2 more, which is great, but that only takes us up to 3. If we could get a full set of skeletons as our turret guards, that would be ideal. But we'll just load these guys up with food for now. I think that's the go-to solution for the moment. Get them over close to their turrets, take them off passive, and turn their jobs on. It does seem like they've got it under control as long as someone can come and repair the gate. So that might be the thing we try and figure out. Excuse me. Someone to repair the gate, and maybe we build some animal feeders. The animal feeders can kind of force people to run in a zigzag pattern and spend more time not just sitting on our gate destroying it, which is nice. So we still need building materials. Is that all we're after? I think we've got all of our turrets built. So the only thing we're really after is building materials, which is great. We can acquire those pretty easy and get back to business. It does seem like just one more set of good heavy armor is going to be worth building. So we'll have to make sure we get set up for that. We've got enough crossbow bolts for now that it'll take forever to run out of them. More than we're ever going to carry on us as it is. We need to make sure we drop off the science stuff from Griffin and anybody else that has it. Looks like Griffin and Burn. It is nice just having a pet dinosaur, though. That's always fun. Let's see what else we can research here. Steel bars, a fully automatic drill, hybrid stone mine, iron plates. We need chain armor crafting, so that's good. Alright, I think it's time to double check we're not carrying a bunch of extra junk. He's got a little bit of junk to get out of the inventory. Oh, Griffin missed a piece. He doesn't need 2 splint kits, that's for sure. Ruka's got more robotics kits than we're ever gonna need. We might sell those, but I'm not sure. I really want to switch out these backpacks. It's time to head to Morn and see if we can do that for some of these guys. Maybe make our way around a few places. Double check. Flats Lagoon's gonna have some backpacks for us too. This way we just turn our jobs off. I'm able to manually give them a bunch of food in their inventory and they're not gonna just throw it right back in the bin. So we'll hit Morn and Flats Lagoon and see about getting those traders backpacks that we'd prefer to have. That's just going to let us carry a ton of food as well as a metric ton of crossbow bolts, meaning we won't have to come home nearly as often or at least unexpectedly. Wow, Griffin got his arm shredded. That is terrible. Whoa. Gotta get these spiders taken care of. They're slow. Let's get some kind of lineup going here. The spiders are a little more dangerous. And there's more coming. Doesn't look like we're getting beat up. Ooh, some of us are taking a savage beating, actually. Burn and Polly are already down. They're outnumbering us, which is really bad. Griffin's down. No, don't let him eat you, Polly. God damn it. Just attack whoever you can. Come on. This is not looking good. Just an overwhelming horde of these stupid spiders. Ruka can't hardly move. Oron. Everybody's just getting absolutely wrecked. Just out of nowhere, two hordes of spiders and we're cooked. That's crazy. To me, that is just crazy. Belt, can you lure a bunch of them away, please? That would be great. Belt, just keep getting some distance and trying to shoot, man. This is ridiculous. We're so close to home, too, and we're just getting shredded by these guys. And the problem is, if everyone goes down, they will totally start to eat us. This is frustrating. I'm just going to have Belt lead as many of them away as he can. No, I need you to actually follow me. Come back. Damn it. Addie, you need to get up and start shooting. These things are so ridiculously tough. If I could just get them to leave them alone for a little bit, people could start getting up and maybe shooting or something, but this is ridiculous. I'm gonna have to try and like let them stay somewhat close. I'm just gonna have to hope that Addie can get away from him. Reduce her encumbrance a little bit. Most of them are just slinking back over there. This is ridiculous. They just keep coming. That one's actually trying to eat dirt. No, it's attracting more of them back. Damn it. Addie, if you're still able to shoot, do that. Take you guys off of hold. Let everybody else medic. Is anyone dying? Zoo lost an arm. Wow, this was our first fight. Cat is actually dying. So go fix up Cat. Cat lost a limb too. This is crazy. I think it's just because they're so hard to hit with our crossbows, it just wasn't happening. Let's see if I can get this stupid frickin' bug dead. They don't have much blood, so if I can just land a shot, it'll be alright. I need you to go first aid Cat. Where is Cat? What is Griffin? Griffin's in trouble. Okay, so everybody is on passive and medic. I can't believe we tried to just step outside for a minute to get some backpacks, and here we are just getting absolutely jacked up. We'll have Addie pick up everybody and bring them over. Cat, you're not actually dying, are you? Addie, pick up Cat. Put Cat in bed. Who else lost a body part? Dirt, Zoo. Addie, pick up Zoo. Put him in bed. Pick up Griffin and put him in bed. Pick up Moo. Put him in bed. Well, we're severely injured. We're missing an arm on Zoo and an arm on Cat. And worst of all, it's the same arm. So that just means that they're going to need the same arm to fix it, which is tough. I guess we're going to head to Desert City. See, this is where we're regretting not having all that money, though. As soon as I thought we were done with worrying about money, we're out of money. And it's kind of a problem. Let's go check on our home base and defense. Ribs, he's got a ton of stuff for us. Let's make him a plate beating bench. Crafting. Beep, what are you doing? Plate beating station. And a light. Beep. Oh, he's just training on the turret since his veggies are done. We're gonna take that down. Griffin, pick up Zoo. Moron, pick up Cat. Oh, jeez. We gotta get the hell out of here. This is what I was thinking of, is it's time to get the hell out of here. No, god damn it. Just stop fighting stuff. Well, we had another close call already. We may have, no, 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 no. What is this? What? Why? Stop. Well, now we gotta head back to the outpost and see what we can do about healing up. Losing arms is kind of a pain in the butt when your main thing is using crossbows. It's kind of weird that we're having this much trouble. I feel like the spiders, maybe that's just something I need to remember. Skin spiders are a terrible thing to try and kill with crossbows unless they're all piled up. I think against skin spiders, we're not going to have a choice. We're going to have to really spread out and have a serious, basically just spread out so that we're able to get a real fight out of it, not just get whooped. We're going to want at least 20 beds in here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We don't have any choice but to fight whatever comes at us now. We're not going to be able to outrun it. Whatever else comes of this, though, we're going to be much tougher. And I think from now on, whenever we run into animals, we're absolutely going to harvest whatever we can. But we need to get back into our gates and rest up for a little bit before we try and go anywhere else. And then we're going to have to try and get our hands on some new arms. We didn't make as much progress today as I would have liked. We got the dang turrets up and going, and that's about it. Why aren't they shooting at this wolf? Let's get some storage going for skins. Messed up as it is, money's money right now. We're gonna need plenty of it. I do suppose we've got enough green fruit to sell. I don't know whether it's worth hauling over there, but hey. Why is no one putting stuff away? Like, why haven't you put those building materials away? We're gonna do a save and load. See if everyone will go back to doing what they would normally be doing. Still got our beaker. No, a lot of them are still just sitting on all kinds of different components and things that we don't need that they should be putting away. It's so strange. Guess we're out of fabrics. Why isn't she cooking? Oh, because of all the messed up building materials and stuff she has. Okay. Again, this isn't making sense. She's just standing around doing nothing. Nope, there's just something wrong with this. I don't know what's going on here, but we're just gonna dismantle it. I think there was something wrong with that building and it was just messing everything up. It stinks, but they wouldn't do anything. We need a skeleton repair bed. We're gonna start working on making some armor plate for now. We've got plenty of crossbow bolts to last us a while. At least this way now we'll be able to come home and get belt fixed up. We need raw copper for that? That's obnoxious. And it stinks that I couldn't build my barracks. What I'm learning is the high bone field is probably just a terrible place to have a base. It's unfortunate, but it's true. So we're gonna head out to Katoon, try not to die on the way there, and get everybody patched up and rested there if we can. We're just gonna head straight there, try and ignore any kind of combat that we could get into. And we're probably gonna start running away from spiders if we get overwhelmed like that. That was rough. As they get tougher and tougher, it'll be less scary, but that was absolutely horrible. So we gotta buy 2 things of copper, and that's gonna let us do this a little bit better. We'll be able to get belt healed up and go from there. Did they really? They dumped all the skins? That's outrageous. We came all the way here and then they decided to finally dump all the skins. That is outrageous. Well, it is what it is. We probably have enough to buy the arms we want. Everybody's so banged up though that we need to go rest. I think this is a pretty good stopping point though. We'll let everybody rest up and then we'll come back tomorrow and go on the hunt for some more limbs. I mean, honestly, I'd love to just keep playing, but I can only stream for so long right now. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me struggle with just 2 spawns of spiders and somehow make it out of there alive at least. But we'll let these guys rest up, and when we come back, we will be heading out to get some replacement arms. We probably won't be able to get masterwork quality for everyone, but the moment we can get that upgraded, we will. Just what's available out there. We're not set up to have a big enough base to produce all sorts of cool stuff. If we had just had a copper mine up there, it might have been different. But it also, it might be just showing that this wasn't the best idea for a base area. I may not like it, but that's what it's seeming like, is that the pathing in here stinks. Half the things I want to get to, I have to open my gate to get to. It's very strange. I wonder, no, it's not on a road. So let's see if we can see the roads. Yeah, we're not obstructing a road, so it's strange that we're having this issue. It seems like we're able to defend it well enough against what's actually came to fight us. Yeah, the spiders don't like harpoons, do you little shits? But yeah, so far it's been a rough go of it. I think my next base I will probably just make sure I have water, stone, copper, and iron so that I can do whatever I need to do in-house. it's also completely preventing us from doing our own cybernetic limb creation if we wanted to. But yeah, we will catch back up tomorrow. We'll get their limbs replaced, and then it is just off to get backpacks and off to the races. We may not even bother getting different backpacks. I really want to get into tech hunting, getting the technology, and seeing what we can unlock. Once these guys are tough enough, everybody's going to have a toughness up over 70 before I even think about it. But once they've been through enough fights, that's when we're going to start looking at, okay, what leaders can we go get? We're going to start with the machinists and see if kidnapping any of their guys will actually yield some information. There's two people in World's End that I don't think anybody's ever tried to actually capture them and bring them back with you to try and interview them and ask them questions. It's probably nothing. Somebody probably thought of that and would have found out by now. But I think it'll be cool to try. And when you combine that with all the books we're going to hunt down and loot from that area, it should make for a very fun and interesting playthrough. But that's where we'll leave it. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.